Just question 6 today. So we have our another double lesson. So we will continue the essay part and together with paper 2. So check your mark. If any question, please inform the teacher, or you can take the photos and tell me any mistake. I will do the amendment with you later. So question 6, account for the physical factors causing flooding at the lower course of a river. So for part 1, we have 3 keywords: physical factor, flooding, lower course. So you have to brainstorm what are the physical factors causing flooding at the location. The most important one is hydrological factor, something about the water factor. At lower course, they have largest amount of discharge, large catchment area. So a lot of water they will transport to the lower course, so they will access the bank full discharge and cause flooding. And also for the river factors, so they have the high sinuosity 個彎曲程度 sinuosity. So especially we have lots of deposition in the inner bank. So will easily cause the silting problem. So that's why we have flooding. Besides, the relief is gentle at lower course, so easy for deposition. Then sometimes we have less tree, so less vegetation cover. So we'll have more runoff, less infiltration, less interception. So we have more discharge to the river and cause flooding. Last two, of course, is some about climate. For the lower course, if they have high rainfall, so they are easy cause flooding. Or the last one is about the rock geological factor. So if the rocks are highly permeable, so they will affect the permeability is low, okay, or we call no permeability, 滲透度 permeability. So they will easy, no permeability, they will have more surface runoff. So they will easy to have flooding at the lower course. So brainstorm all the factors that affect flooding at the lower course. So this question, not many of you try, but for those you try, you need to have a very clear mind about the location, lower course, and the flooding. And this question, actually, we got a DSC past paper, which is very similar. So you can refer to the DSC marking scheme for your reference. And then for part 2 is about the channelization. This is also a common question we ask you. Discuss whether channelization can reduce the risk of flooding. So channelization refer to the 3 things: strengthening, widening, and deepening of the river channel. So for all these, we can want to increase the velocity of the flow. So also want to increase the bank full discharge, so they can carry more flood water and reduce the silting problem. And one more thing many of you miss out is about the embankment, 人工嘅河堤啊。So the embankment is covered with concrete, so we can reduce the erosion. And sometimes we will also have the vegetation planting to increase the infiltration, so as to lower the peak discharge and reduce the risk of flooding. And then why we can, this is the function, why we have channelization. Why it cannot help, so we have some constraints. So channelization, so there's a long lower course. So it's not cost effective or feasible to have large scale channelization. Or you also need a lot of time to do so。好大規模啦，好全條做晒啦，其實都係費時失事嘅，都唔可以做晒啦，咁所以都係解決唔到嗰個下游地方嘅水浸問題。And then if we only do partly, so we'll shift the flooding problem to other place at lower cost. So we cannot solve the problem. And then we can argue when they will have an extreme rainfall, we still have flooding at lower cost despite we have the channelization. So once we have an extreme flooding caused by typhoon, we still have a problem of flooding. So that's why channelization is not effective. So we cannot address the root cause. So we call this is the root cause of extreme flooding, extreme rainfall. So that's all for the essay number 6. So for number 7 and number 8, we will discuss in the next part of our discussion. One more reminder, if you have any question about the mark, please mark down and let the teacher know, or send a message to me and let me do the amendment for you. Thank you.